pre-processing our PDF. Now let us go to the code. In this code we have used many Python libraries like OS, Request, BS4, SpaCy and Fias, NumPy and sklearn pre-processing and at last Tinter, and even we used normalize message box scrolled text. The sklearn pre-processing package provides several common utility functions like change raw features vectors into a representation that is more suitable for the downstream estimators. Space is a Python library. Uses modules and functions to extract information from text. BS4 stands for Beautiful Soap. It is a Python library for pulling data out of HTML and XML files. It works with your favorite parser to provide idiomatic ways of navigating. And next, here we see NumPy. NumPy is a free open source library for Python that's used for scientific computing. And NumPy provides high-level mathematical functions. Next, Tinter. As we know that Tinter is a famous Python module which is used to create graphical user interfaces for applications. Next, here we used Fias library is efficient for similarity search and clustering of dense vectors. Next, here we will see the explanation of code. In step 1, crawl and scrap website content. In step 2, chunk content into smaller segments. Here we need to divide that whole chunk into small chunks, that means small paths. In step 3, we will generate embeddings using SpaCy. In step 4, store embeddings in a Fias vector database. In step 5, retrieve relevant chunks for a query. We need to retrieve relevant chunks for a query. That means when the user asks a question, we need to give only the specified and exact answer for the given question by user. In main function for RAG pipeline, we need to write a code. Next, scrap, process, generate embeddings. Next, retrieve relevant chunks for the query. When the user is asking for a query, we need to give only the exact and relevant answer for the given query by user. Next, we need to generate response. Next, GUI implementation. Next, we need to create a GUI window. Here in output we will get like user interface asking for a website link, and we need to question the given. We need to question based on the given our website. In this, the Python code implements a retrieve and generate pipeline using web scraping, natural language processing, and vector search and GUI. First, we need to scrap website content. In that, fetches the content of a web page using request. Next, chunk the text. Splits the larger text content into smaller chunks by nearly 300 characters. Uses sentence as a unit for splitting. Next, generate embeddings. Use SpaCy language model to generate vector embeddings. Next, we need to store embeddings in Fias. Fias is a Python module. Embeddings are normalized for cosine similarity. Embeddings are added to a Fias index to allow nearest neighbor search. Next, we need to retrieve relevant chunks. Convert the user query into embedding using SpaCy. Normalizes the query, embedding and searches for the top closest chunks. Next, returns the most relevant text chunks. At last, RAG pipelines. Loads the SpaCy model, like orchestrates the process, scrapes the text from a list of URLs and splits into the chunks. Generate embeddings for all chunks and stores them in a Fias index. Uses a query to retrieve the top 3 relevant chunks from the Fias index. At last, GUI implementation. Run _ pipeline, open braces, fetches URLs and a query from the GUI input fields. Displays the result in scrollable text box. As we used scrollable text at the starting of the code, import scrollable text comma message box. At last, Tinter GUI. GUI stands for graphical user interfaces. We use Tinter library for creating of graphical user interfaces. A scroll text box for users to input multiple URLs. Run button, output button, like executing RAG pipeline when clicked, display the retrieved relevant information. It's for out button and run button. Key libraries used: Request, Beautiful Soap, SpaCy, Fias, NumPy, Tinter. request for making HTTP request for fetching website content, Beautiful Soup for parsing and extracting text from the HTML, Spacy for generating dense vector embeddings of text, Fias for fast similarity based searches, NumPy for handling embeddings as arrays, Tinter for generating the GUI. Actually, how it works, first we need to give the input, we need to process, then we get output. Thank you so much for watching my video.